Hi, everyone. Good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Welcome to a brand new day. Hope you're having a great day so far. I'm up early. I have got my cup of tea this morning. I've got my green tea, my plain, ordinary, boring, wonderful green tea. I think that's my go-to tea for just about everything, but I really enjoy it. Do you have a favorite tea? I do this every single morning. I tell you what tea I'm drinking. I have a whole box of different teas, and I really do love them for different reasons. But green tea for me is just one of those teas that I know is doing me good. I love the taste of it, and there's a really wide variety, and it comes from all over the world. And I think there's something about that sort of predictability and that sort of consistency of it that gives me stability in kind of crazy times. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that today because, I do these chats every now and again about fashion and beauty and travel, cruising, and losing weight. And we talk about all kinds of stuff here. But there's something that we don't talk about too often, but I get a lot of comments in our articles and personal emails, talking about just how tough things are for people. And, every time I try to respond, I often realize I have no context, for the situation. I have no experience of what you're going through. And some of these adversities and challenges that we face are really life-changing. So I wanted to chat today and give you people that are dealing with some challenges in life, just a perspective that, we're kind of here for each other. And that's one of the things I hope you take away from today's chat, that you're not alone. And whatever it is that's making you feel sad and desperate and alone and afraid, the best we can do as a group is to be comforting to each other and knowing that, and just maybe share that we've been through it, or just say, hey, hang in there. It's going to be okay. It's really going to be okay. So Terry Arzt is one of our bloggers, and she wrote an article about dealing with adversity. And this is some of the good news to remember. And I'm not going to do the classic, there's always something good that comes from a bad situation, because, that's probably very true in some situations, but it doesn't help if you're trying to deal with a tragedy. And this can be something that, on a spectrum that goes from ending of a relationship, getting a divorce or losing someone that you love, the death of a loved one or a family member, someone that's really close to you. It could be health challenges. You could have just got a diagnosis that is really going to be life-changing and frightening. You could have been in an accident or had a fall, or just be in some situation where you're going to need medical help. And of course, the big one for a lot of you is financial challenges, that you could really be struggling with money. I don't think there's anything that's more oppressive than that somehow, because, a lot of us have lived with it for many, many, many years. It's become woven into our lives, and poverty is not a very pleasant thing to deal with. And not that, the other side is true too, that people who have enough money and are financially secure often have their own set of challenges. So, we all are just doing our best on this journey to be positive and life affirming. Above everything else, we have our life. And that's what's super important. One thing I think that we all realize in our 60s is that, we know how life can turn on a dime. That expression is so powerful, but we know how 1 minute everything can be just perfect, and then or just perfect relative, and then the next minute or day or hour, something can happen that changes everything. And I know there are people right now that are nodding their heads with tears in their eyes, knowing that this has happened to them. And my heart goes out to you. And of course, we want to just wave a magic wand and have it all go away. You could be really overwhelmed with emotion, just feeling completely like you're never going to get to the other side, that picking up the other pieces is just like the last thing on earth that you think you're going to be able to manage. But it is true. You will get through it. And it is that classic, finding joy in life, in newfound meaning and purpose, which, you can do. It just takes time. But to keep a perspective on that. So Terry goes through what she considers to be the stages of adversity, and just a little bit of help as to how you can sort of hold on there. You can climb onto a little bit of a life raft as you're going through these stages. The first one is the post-traumatic stage. And this is after, major life adversity where the quality of your life has changed so dramatically that you really don't know how you're going to ever survive. The realization that somehow this has got to be a springboard, to a better place. That you just honestly can't go on in that kind of, shock and despair. You just got to know it's going to get better. And just know that you've got to create a springboard to jump forward to something new and meaningful. The next stage that Terry talks about is this post-traumatic growth. Now, after that post-traumatic stage of fear and worry, you go into the place where, you can relate to the world a little differently. It is that the lens really honestly has changed. And, sometimes when you lose a lot, like in a fire or, obviously a person that you love, it passes away or dies, it's really almost impossible to imagine a world without them. But somehow it happens. And, you get through the divorce and you see life with a different lens. Maybe it takes a few years, but once you stop crying and you stop beating yourself up for what ifs and should ifs and could ifs and would ifs, and then you do see it differently. We see that we're stronger, that we are calmer, that we have a greater capacity for just not worrying about the little things, that we know we've just been through something much bigger and that just doesn't matter anymore. And that really makes a difference. It really does as you go into the next phase of growth. It leads to gratitude and appreciation. And maybe some of you are relating to that now. This greater appreciation for life is, for me, grounded on the reality that life is so fragile. Everything that looks concrete, that looks like it's going to last forever, is not. It changes. The one constant in life, and everything is transitory. Everything passes. From the people that we are with right now to our own lives, life is transitory. And I think that greater appreciation for life that is sometimes triggered by an adversity really is a powerful gift. It's a gift that helps us to take the rest of the years that we have and to live them with, fully and with sort of a sense of appreciation and gratitude. It also, Terry does a really good job of talking to this about changing priorities, that it actually does, make you feel like what was important to me before just it isn't of value anymore in my life. And that's, I think, a very, very powerful gift to realize that you don't need those things that you thought were going to bring you happiness, that somehow this adversity, this challenge, this situation has made you just say, gosh, all that really matters to me is my family, my job, my partner, myself. You have to obviously look at whatever's happened, and it could be any number of things, and know that you now have a different set of priorities. The final thing that Terry talks about, which I think is really, really powerful, that happens after adversity like this, is that you have more intimate and warmer relationships, that you release all these sort of, unrealistic expectations about your family and about your friends, and you somehow start to value the important things. You learn how to forgive and forget, how to let things go, and that your relationships seem deeper and more meaningful because you just value them more. If you lose a friend, you then look at your friends that you still have with you and you think, wow, those people are super important to me. I'm going to have, and you just sink into a deeper place with them. I think it's really important transition. And at the same time, you get a personal sense of strength and in your own growth, that you have come through something that you didn't think you'd ever have to face, and you've actually now come out of it a stronger, more vibrant, more intelligent, more, caring, loving person. I know these are hard times, and I'm talking now to the people that are going through situations that are tough. And I'm not doing this session today to make you feel bad or to get us all in a depression or to feel kind of, sad and worried and fearful. It's really to say, whatever it is, just hang on. I mean, we are all facing aging. And we're all facing the loss of parents and people who are older than us. It's just how life is. And we're all facing a world that is in total crazy chaos. There's a lot of power shuffling, a lot of ego, a lot of money grabbing, a lot of selfishness, and a lot of realigning of what's important. And I just I think in that respect it's useful to go through this kind of process, even if you're not in the middle of it yourself. Recognize your significance in the world and the contribution that you've got to make. Just go for it. All right, everyone. Well, I do hope that you found this useful. I hope it's been uplifting. Thanks, Terry, for writing these thoughts down and taking us through these stages. I think it's really important that we don't give up on ourselves, and also that we recognize the potential that we get when we drive head through an adversity and come out the other side. That fear is the barrier to growth. So, question: what do you do when life gets a little rough? What do you do when you're feeling things are getting a little bit overwhelming? Leave your comments in the section below. Let's join and have a conversation today. Let's really go deep. Let's listen to what people are saying. Let's give hugs, share the comments, and be there for each other. What do you do when life gets a little tough? Thanks again for being here, everyone. I really do appreciate your support, your time, the energy that you give to 60andMe, and I do hope that you have a wonderful day. Take very good care of yourselves, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye-bye for now.